There goes a nice fist bump, and let's give, I think, from the crowd, a round of applause for our finalist.
What a move.
What a start.
Both players trading some cards at the beginning of the game. One Ash Blossom for one Parulia, only going to benefit the person who is going first, and that is Roselle. What a fantastic match we're going to have to crown off the European champion, because this mirror match, no one is negating anyone else's card effects, right? We're just playing cards.
Yeah, trading blows left and right is going to be quite the grindy one. They had to, you know, just dismantle some quite combo-heavy decks, but now it's down to Vanquish, Soul, Mirror, and it's an interesting matchup for sure.
Yeah, here we are. We're going to see Jialong hit the field and a Razan. This is an absolutely premium start for Roselle. She's going to be searching cards. She's going to be drawing cards. And Lorenzo cut off from drawing any more cards thanks to that Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. A massive surplus of fire monsters there for Roselle. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the opening hand, so no worries giving up that Ash Blossom at the beginning.
Yeah, perfect start from Roselle here, especially because we've seen this weekend how difficult the mirror match is, because you really have to understand where to activate your Vanquish Soul cards and also to interact with your opponent's one. But it seems like Roselle really opened up a premium hand.
Yeah, that Ash was absolutely crucial. Just take a look at how many cards Lorenzo would have drawn with it. And the advantage had surely shifted as we go and access yet another copy of the Heavy Burger. Oof, wow, and stake your soul.
Yeah, this is absolutely perfect. Every starter you could need in addition to an Ash for that Parulia. The only card you might be worried about at some point is Nibiru, so you've got to make sure you're not going to unnecessarily extend into that one if Lorenzo is even playing it.
I think it's playing one.
And there goes the Fill Spell, such a card. It has been the star, no pun intended, of all of our weekend. Absolutely crazy, crazy, crazy tool for the deck this start. And yeah, I mean, once more, we have seen plenty of times how this deck can just assemble resources, both on the field and in the end. And who could have predicted this? A final between Vanquish Soul.
Yeah, I find it very hard to imagine anyone could have predicted this. We're going to see so much advantage for Roselle on the first turn. She's going to, you know, each of these cards, when you summon them, you get that +1. She even got the +1 off the Jialong, which is not so easy to do normally. And we're going to draw 2 cards from Borga. We're going to have a trap. We're going to get the rock. This is going to be very, very tough for Lorenzo to fight back against.
I actually broke the curse, actually, because my pick was Vanquish. So
was it? Watch them get both DQ'd and then end the tournament without the winner. Yeah, but here, I mean, we are just setting up everything. The Snow Devil comes into play, the card that also allowed, in the end, Lorenzo to go to the World Championship. And I believe that's a pass.
Yeah, back comes the Mad Love to the hand in the end phase because Stake Your Soul. You've always got to remember to do that. Just going over a nice recap for us of the turn and how many millions of cards Roselle has in hand.
That's impressive.
She just reveal 6.
That's a draw for Lorenzo. Can he find a way to push back? That's a great way to start things off. Always opening this part of extravagance. I mean, we all know that no matter how good you are, you need that tiny bit of luck to make such a run, and obviously he's gonna take all the help needed.
Yeah, going to be very important for him here to try and maintain a healthy hand size after having 1 Molchami negated, so he's going to go back up to 6.
Hopefully not again banishing 3 copies of the rock, but we've seen that happen a couple of times already, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, that is very rough. Rock being a very useful piece of the puzzle. You can always take your opponents in the mirror match, of course.
Fair.
But you only get to take it for a turn. But I suppose you could always rank it up afterwards, so...
You'd like to, huh?
Well, you can rank it up into the Vanquish Soul rocks.
Yeah.
From the rock
Keep it there
into the rocks.
Forever. Yeah. But here, yeah, Lorenzo finally summons his first vanquish soul of the match.
This field spell going to be a pretty useful piece of interaction for Rosalie, being able to prevent the destruction of some vanquished souls. They do like to destroy the opponent's cards, be it with the Snow Devil or with Rasen. Lorenzo working with a full hand of cards, but still not as many as Rosalie's going to have access to. She can always search one more with Jialong. She's got about 100 fire monsters in hand.
It's going to be very difficult for Lorenzo to navigate through this because, of course, like he knows Rosalie's hand, but at the same time, you really have to think, how deep do I want to go? When do I want to push? Where do I want to activate my interruptions? And he's starting with the Holy Sue.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you start to lose resources, it can be difficult to come back with Vanquish Soul because you don't have any cards left in your hand to activate all of your powerful effects. So every monster you commit to the field that doesn't replace itself can be a limited resource.
Something interesting, I mean, more on the side that's just come to my mind. If I'm not mistaken, was last year entry playmat the Vanquish Soul one, actually, for the European, and WCQ events. I'm pretty sure it was. And what, what a throwback to what would turn out to be the deck in the finals of the next one. Yeah. Wow.
Very, very prophetic. Well, this year we had Molchami Fuelos, so
I mean,
that's probably going to turn up next year too. Unless there's a full-blown Molchami theme that we're not yet seeing.
Ooh, and there we see the star of the match against Sky Striker, that one copy of the Kaiju.
Yeah, really bringing us back there to Kaiju against Sky Strikers.
Really? Probably the only Kaiju he has faced, and I mean, I think facing it in the match to get you to the World Championship must have felt quite interesting for our Theodore. But right now, let's focus on the match ahead. As mentioned, Lorenzo trying to bring this around. Obviously, he knows about that Snow Devil, but managed to clear the field in terms of monsters from Rosalie.
Yeah, Rosalie being pretty relaxed here and just waiting. But now is the time to strike with the Snow Devil. Going to reveal 3. Going to get some monsters back onto the field.
There it is.
Such a powerful card.
It's unbelievable. I really like it. I kind of think here, I think it's just...
Yeah. I mean, when you're able to use it for the full effect, it's such a blowout card. Being able to pretty much clear the whole field, and it does happen, does resolve. Rosalie Angelica able to turn things around, resolving this Snow Devil and clearing the field from Lorenzo. Wow.
Yeah, no profitable way to chain any monsters from their hand to summon themselves, obviously, because they would just get destroyed in place of the ones that you returned. So maybe Rosalie gonna put a check here on Lorenzo, because without a Stake Your Soul, I don't see how he's gonna get another monster onto the field. And even with a Stake Your Soul, Rosalie can just summon that Caesar Valius and pop whatever gets summoned.
Definitely not gonna be easy feat here from the Italian, and I think
that
that might
pass,
be the
right?
pass back.
Yeah.
It is a pass back.
I think you can get a lot more stuff off if you're Rosalie here, but if your opponent passes you, I think you just don't look a gift horse in the mouth and you just say, okay, I'm going to go back to my turn. I'm not going to play into any tricks that you might have.
Yeah. Burger was used. We could even go for damage if we want to just close things out. And yes, that is the case indeed.
That's when you know you're in trouble, when they've decided they have enough cards that they would rather deal you some damage. And here we see another Jialong, and that is enough.
Lorenzo has seen enough, picks up his cards. Wow, what an explosive start. We've mentioned that this matchup can be a lot of back and forth and grinding out. Wasn't quite the case, given that the only interruption Lorenzo had, that Mulcharmi Purulia, was stopped by Ash Blossom right away. What an amazing start of the match. And now Roselle Angelica is only one game away from becoming our latest European champion.
Yeah, I think a good demonstration there of just how tough it is to stop, right? I mean, you could have a one Mulcharmi, but even with that, Roselle able to push through with that Ash Blossom.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned this before. If you can't really manage to stop Vanquish Soul, then it gets out of control. You know, that's what we witnessed in Game 1, and Rosalia piloted incredibly well. And now we enter into Game 2. Lorenzo, of course, is with the back against the wall, but we see him quite a few times in this situation. And talking about the side deck, going first, he has the shared rides, which he can side in, the triple tactics talent as well.
Yeah. Shared ride in particular has been quite useful for a lot of the Vanquish Soul players, prioritizing it over the most maybe popular mistaken arrest by other decks, taking advantage of the much very well needed resources in hand, and it's definitely gonna be the case in the mirror match. We see how much it can search out, but I mean, similarly to the previous game, we've also seen other interruptions. Rosalie is on those Phantasmize, which we have seen a lot of the playoffs. I think not so much throughout the main event, but she went with full free copies. Makes sense.
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense to some. How do you fight back against Vanquish Soul? I guess the answer is just with more stuff of your own. It's like it's so difficult to interrupt what they're doing, so maybe the strategy is with these Phantasmes and these shared rides. An interesting thing to note, neither player main decking any copies of Drawn Lockbird, but each of them side decking a full 3 copies, so maybe we're in for some slightly more disruptive gameplay than we saw in Game 1.
Yeah, this is something that we discussed so far this weekend. It's how our players decided to either main deck or side deck in Drawn Lock, which is one of the most impactful call of the current meta. And yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense.
But I think without further ado, again, what matters the most is how these two amazing players are gonna hold up their nerves and fight for the trophy standing in front of Tom. So once more, let's finally go to the table and let's find out who will be the winner of Game 2. Here we are. Are we going to see the Purulia from Rosalie as well? Oh, revealing the end. That could be an either amazing or terrible sign, but we start with that part of extravagance. Once more from Lorenzo. Wow.
Do you think he noticed, or he just looks very locked in at the moment?
No,
I don't think he didn't even notice.
I mean, he's by far, I mean, we often, comment on some stereotypes or you can have about maybe Italians being extremely passionate, extremely, using our hands, but I gotta say Lorenzo is by far the most locked-in player, but here comes Droll, and no reaction once more from the Italian.
Speaking of locked in.
Yeah, maybe we jinxed it.
Yeah, that draw is super important here. I mean, it's amazing to say it. You'd think like a draw into a pot of extravagance would feel bad, but it clearly isn't the case. Your opponent's just drawn 2 cards, you're throwing away 1, but we take those.
Absolutely. And let's see how we can fight back.
Really is almost as devastating to Vanquish Soul as it is to other strategies, it seems. Their deck wants to search so much, it wants to draw so much.
When I see, I think, Nibiru in the end, an interesting choice. And yeah, that Stake Your Soul is going to resolve. Bringing out still that Raisin that obviously we can just use in the next turn, thanks to the Rock.
Yeah, Rock is such a powerful tool. Maybe we should see some Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries coming in the future for these mirror matches.
So simple yet so efficient, and it's been really the team of the weekend for Vanquish Show, let's say, nothing super flashy, but gets there.
Lorenzo having a think. Question is how many Rock of the Vanquisher got banished.
Well, if he, like in top 8, he told me he banished 3 with the extravagance.
Well,
Okay.
this time,
It's
not
you.
3.
Yeah, at least we do have the one. In this case, Phantasmai doesn't really work since we are under draw and lock. So that's it. Just gonna take it, you know, as you would expect, slowly setting up one card and passing back to Roselle. Can she find what she needs to turn this around? Trying to take a look. I see the field spell in hand.
I'm wondering as well if there was the Snow Devil in hand too.
Yeah, I did see a trap, but there is the most important card of the deck. And a shared ride, though, from Lorenzo.
Wow, shared ride. Gonna fight back well against that draw on lock, but it really puts you on a clock, shared ride, because if you're not ending the game this turn, which it can be quite tough to do against Vanquish Soul, then your opponent's going to be starting their turn with 10 or so cards in hand.
You can see two opposite strategies. They're on the lock preventing, well, you know, shared ride almost trying to encourage your opponent to commit. But I do think you're right. There is the Snow Devil in hand. Wow, both, you know, spell and traps drawn.
Yeah, got to make some tough decisions here, Roselle. Could just go to the battle phase, play a minimalistic turn, not give Lorenzo too many cards, or she could try and get as much damage as she can on the table and maybe look to close out the game with a heavy Borga.
But it seems like that was the case, and Lorenzo decided to respond by activating this other effect, special summoning from the end.
I feel like, I don't know if Rosalia hand was bad, because like for showing it off, it's just,
yeah, true.
Still don't get it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it was that
Wasn't
bad.
that bad, right?
Maybe the Rasen was the top deck.
Could be, because the rest,
Maybe there was the start, the trap,
it's
draw,
Nibiru, start, trap, and then, whatever we added, then another monster, but, yeah.
Interesting choice from Lorenzo, putting that Rasen in defense mode. I feel like it's ready to get run over by its mirror on the other side.
Yeah, here come the field spell we knew about, which unfortunately, I mean, it's gonna be a 1-for-1 because Lorenzo is also gonna draw a card, whether it's activated.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Shared Ride being rising in popularity this week, and I really like it. It's been years actually since the last time we saw it in action.
Whenever it comes back, it's considered, you know, the maxi version of a spell card in some formats, and for a reason, as it was for, you know, Necrots 10 years ago. But yeah, we just move on to the battle phase. As you have mentioned, able to run over this Rasen. I mean, it would have happened anyways due to the protection effect of the field spell, so I guess not that it mattered much. But
yeah, you have to be quite confident you're going to survive to be investing a card into Shared Ride. But
indeed,
the upside of the Vanquish Soul deck is if you draw all these cards, you might draw cards to refill your hand. You've got all these hand traps. You might draw into a Holy Sue as well, which you'll probably be able to activate if you're drawing so many cards.
yeah, but here come the Caesar values.
One thing to note, Shared Ride, I believe, also punishes you for adding a card from your grave to the hand as well. So you can't play around it the same way you can draw Lockbird by using Rock of the Vanquisher.
I think it's very powerful, especially in a tournament this long. I think once you get to the top cut finishes, it's one of those cards you really want to have in your side deck. And here we're seeing...
We do have Earth, Fire, and Dark, which
Yeah.
means we can't use the fact to destroy a card on the field, and play seems like it's back to Lorenzo.
He's going to be holding an awful lot of cards at this point. I think he passed last turn with 5 or 6 maybe, and has drawn 2 or 3 now off the Shared Ride, so he's going to have the world at his fingertips.
Yeah, and I mean, we do know basically the only other lines of defense are that Nibiru, which, to be fair, if Lorenzo really wants to go in, could be devastating, but outside of that, there's Snow Devil. Obviously, is also going to be something to keep in mind.
Yeah, for sure. The Snow Devil and the Caesar Valius will offer some interruptions. The question is, what can you do against your opponent's combination of Snow Devil and Caesar Valius, because you're going to have a 3,000 attack monster. You can protect it from battle maybe with the field spell, and it can't be destroyed by card effects, so it's going to be quite tough to run over.
Yep.
I mean, we mentioned this before. Her hand is not bad at all.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, surely Lorenzo has been through this in testing and most likely at this event as well.
Maybe a little trick from Lorenzo here. If you target the Rasen with something, if your opponent tries to destroy it in response, you can make it indestructible.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't fall for it, understandably so, given she's playing the same deck. And now we see a stare down.
Yeah, Caesar Valley is one of the few ways the deck has, I think, to out the opposing field spell.
Look at these reveals. It's going to be probably the Caesar trying to, you know, threaten the card, but here it is revealed, as mentioned, an hard-drawn Snow Devil. Once more, the card that gave to her game 1.
Yeah, I think this card is really making the difference here. Once again, being hard drawn may not be the card you're really looking for, but in those situations, really makes a huge difference.
Wow.
We're going to see it here. The Rasen's going to search again.
Yeah.
We're going to get a Borga. We're going to get a Holy See. There's quite a lot going on.
This is going to be a game. Yeah, quite a game. So, new chain. We see this Rasen, and we have an Ash Blossom to stop it. I guess the Holy Sue is, you know, scary enough. But we are already on 2 summons from Lorenzo. Yeah. And this is going to be the third to keep in mind for that rock. Not quite the rock we are used to seeing in Vanquish Soul, but
Slightly bigger rock.
yeah.
But worth noting that Ash Blossom actually going to be quite tough for Rosalie, because I think the 3 cards she revealed were the only cards in her hand, with the exception of Nibiru. So she's no longer got the full attribute set and might not be able to activate so many effects. For example, no extra dark if you wanted to use the heavy Borga. No full set of attributes for the Caesar Valius either.
So now she's down to 2, right? Plus the Nibiru. So yeah, it's gonna be tricky. So well piloted by Lorenzo, but now we are just 1 summon away from unlocking that Nibiru, and I don't know that he's gonna foresee it.
Yeah, this has to be the time. Oh, it's not the time. Very patient.
Yeah, I think she's just waiting for the right moment very patiently here. It's, I mean, we mentioned this before, the Vanquish mirror match is very difficult to play, but yeah, she's just allowing Lorenzo. Where do you think the Nibiru can...
We're on 4, no?
Yeah.
Oh, we're only on 4. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
we
that's
are only on 4.
why.
That's what it
That
said.
makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I was thinking it's obviously a great time to cut off a search,
Sure.
but not allowed.
Yeah, not quite.
So it can count into 4, right? So
I think there's an art form to counting for Nibiru without making it obvious to your opponent what you're doing that I definitely haven't mastered yet. Counting to 5 in your head.
maybe we should start counting with our fingers instead, because
I think matters extra more if you just show the rest of your hand to your opponent, you know, so they just know that the last card might be relevant. So, right? I mean, Lorenzo is already on 6, 7 cards, so the advantage is there. There is a chance that this game just randomly slips away.
Yeah, Rosalie can pick up that Rasen once again, even with the Nibiru.
Well spotted. This changes things quite a big. Yeah, quite a while, because I mean now even if things don't go according to plan, we have the backup that we can set our own Snow Devil. Yeah.
So here comes Heavy Borga.
Fair enough.
I think also good recognition, because if the Nibiru comes down, then there's the reason for the next turn.
Do you remember what was the third name in end? outside of the resin now?
It's Holly Sue, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Holly Sue, Razan, two
Yeah.
of the best cards, but without more attributes in your hand, they're going to struggle to do as much.
And yeah, we are going to use our own burger. Seems like Lorenzo is just copying, you know, the summons at this point, coming the homeworks. Let's see. But has just slightly more cards to work with, you know. Yeah, we know about the Magnamoth. We're gonna get yet another card off the top. So many good draws available to him.
Yeah, maybe the plan for Roselle just to use it as a sort of Hail Mary.
Yeah, but now the Nibiru is online, and that's extremely relevant.
So this Jylong is allowed. So let's see how Lorenzo here wants to play it out.
Maybe he will just be disciplined and hold a Holly Sue in hand forever. Just in case anything goes badly.
Did he declare battle phase?
Yeah, I think he is gonna just attempt to crush, but Roselle in response to this attack just gonna take, why not, this extra punch at the life points of Lorenzo, which I believe at this moment are his most important resource, because I think the only way he loses this game realistically is by, you know, just life points, because in terms of card advantage he's miles ahead.
Yeah, but he's not going to get a trap card.
And wait a second, Roselle says, here comes Nibiru.
Very patiently waiting for this Nibiru to being summoned.
Absolutely.
Will that be it for Lorenzo, or will he just have a...
He does
Holly
have
Sue
the trap already, so...
Oh, he's already got the trap.
Yeah, he did it earlier on. So he's all right. He could push more, or he could just set the Snow Devil and call it a day. Let's see.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. He can just set and should be okay.
Oh, and there is another one to back it up. That's a pass back to Roselle. Can she find a way to break through this Snow Devil? I think we threw into a Drollen Lock, maybe?
The only set card from Lorenzo's side that I can think of is Shared Ride, to be fair.
Shared Ride number 2.
Let's see
Absolutely
whether that
not.
is the case. Nope, not going to be the shared ride. So let's see, she gets to add another card to end. And understandably, so it's going to be her own copy of that Gia Long.
It's looking like Roselle is lining up to destroy this token, but I'm kind of sad she didn't want to take it with Holly Sue and swing for 20,000 damage.
Yeah, that was a line. When do you think Lorenzo is gonna just pull the trigger on the Snow Devil?
He might wait until Razan tries to destroy something, but I suppose if you wanted to just destroy the Razan, you could have done it when it activated its first effect, because you cannot use both effects, or 2 of its effects at least, in the same chain.
Checking some of the depleted resources.
Roselle, having lost the field spell, it's got to be quite tough.
Yeah, it's she gets spot, and surprisingly, ooh, yeah, we do go for Link 2.
Maybe is it time for a Fire Charmer?
Yep. There is the Ita coming down. Obviously, the mirror match changes things up dramatically. These are kind of interactions you don't really get to play around with in other matchups, but obviously all of those important Vanquish World cards are so strong to bring back.
Yeah, maybe this has caught Lorenzo off guard a bit, because obviously if the Fire Charmer gets destroyed, then you get to search a card. So waiting long enough to allow Roselle to summon it might get her a bonus card.
Yeah, great recognition here, but it seems like we can bring back the Razan, which we have already used.
Now we're going to see some of those classic fire lines that we saw for what it felt like a very long time ago. It was just last year, where you link up your heater into a Promethean Princess, bring back another fire, make a link 4.
Yeah, I think we're just recapping what has happened last turn.
Yeah, maybe just the size of the token, I feel like. Just going over the fact it really doesn't have that much defense.
Really?
I think there was a Dark Charmer.
Is it really that small?
It does feel odd to me, but oh no, is she taking damage?
Yeah, because I mean there was at least maybe there was some discrepancy here on, because at least the values was there, which is 1500, but I felt like there was something else. Wasn't there Xiaolong as well? I think so, no?
Yeah, it looked like they sort of confirmed the token size.
Yeah, I think unfortunately, I mean, I don't see any reason for it, but maybe again, because I've saw them debate a bit about the size of the token. Maybe because she was looking over her graveyard, and maybe she was like, oh no, it's only the 1500 defense, and then didn't realize that unfortunately the token was actually quite big. But I mean, it does make sense that you want to attack anyways, even if it's small to, as we can see here, then overlay.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Maybe the plan was just to overlay, and she didn't actually think that she would attack over the token.
I mean, regardless, you know, that was the idea.
And here comes the Nibiru from Lorenzo as well.
Favor return from Lorenzo, his own copy of Nibiru.
We didn't see this coming, but yeah, I think this may be a change of plans.
That is it. Yep.
Lorenzo evens the score. Well, I mean, we just been praising, you know, these two duelists and just their knowledge in this deck. And I mean, when we tuned in for a Vanquish Soul Mirror match, we were expecting an exchange of rocks. Maybe not so much these kind of rocks, but we'll take it. And I mean, I don't think we wanted it again any other way around. It's extremely fitting that after such an amazing event, they're gonna have to battle it out in a third game.
Yeah, all 3 rocks seeing play here: Vanquish Soul Rocks, Nibiru, and of course Rock of the Vanquisher. So we're going to see what those side decks have in store for us. We saw that amazingly powerful shared ride from Lorenzo there, and on this side of Rosalie, maybe just some Phantasmes are what she's hoping for.
Yeah, I think this is the card that may be the difference in this kind of matchup, because on one hand Rosalie has the Phantasma, and on the other hand Lorenzo has the shared ride. Of course, I think Lorenzo will side in once again the Mulcharmes, now that he's going second, and yeah, I'm really curious to see how this one will be played out, because we saw in game 1, you know, Rosalie's hand was incredibly powerful, and you know, there was nothing that Lorenzo could have done. This game 2 was fought after, I have to say, because, you know, of course Lorenzo was on the driving seat, but it was not easy to seal it out.
Absolutely, but regardless, we have been witnessing 2 champions in their own stands. Obviously, on the one hand, Lorenzo Muselli, known 2-time Italian national champion, giving it his own to become a 3-time champion and finally have that international stage title, bringing and trying to have Italy win back-to-back European Championship. But on the other hand, to stop him, it will be Rosalie Angelica going first in game 3, trying to get the first ever European Championship for Norway. This is the end of an incredible weekend. Don't go anywhere, because only one duel remains to crown the champion that will bring this trophy home. So, without further ado, let's go to the action. And I think one more time before they draw their last end of the tournament. Can we get a round of applause from the crowd? This is it.
This is it. I think I've seen Rosalie open with a Vanquish Soul Rasen every single game, so can she keep it up and do it just one last time? I think I see it.
I do see the card we've mentioned in the side deck. That Phantasmai is in the end, I believe. And there it is once again.
You're right,
that
Tom.
Rasen. But we see an Ash from Lorenzo. No thought whatsoever. Can we proceed, or is that just going to be a rock? Ooh, it's the pot of prosperity.
Wow.
Yeah, really everything that you could want for Rosalie. A pot of prosperity, a Phantasme, and a Rasen. Rasen being met with Ash Blossom might put a bit of a ceiling on her turn, but still a trade you're willing to take, because that Rasen is going to replace itself pretty sharp.
Absolutely. What do you think we are looking for right here with this pot?
I think it just depends on what you currently have already in the hand, but maybe just some missing attributes, maybe something like a Holly Sue or a Mad Love.
Okay, taking a bit of time, but then finalizing this 6 cards. Let's look at the top of the deck. Well, bit of recursion. Oof, and the Stake Your Soul is also an amazing option here.
Yeah, so many options
of course.
right there.
Makes sense. We do get it. Are we going to see something from Lorenzo?
Yeah,
Do you have a burger?
If no Charmy
Right,
already, then
this is all you need.
yeah, this is everything.
No Charmies for Lorenzo, unfortunately.
Yeah, seems like we are gonna have just a very similar opening to what happened in game 1, unless there is something hiding, and it's going to be the only Sue for Lorenzo.
Oh, he's got his own Holly Sue and Rasen.
Ooh.
Maybe this is in response to the field spell being activated.
Can we turn things around here?
Rasen and the Magnum, I think,
and we do have maybe Druid's Worm, but yeah, we do have another Bestial to reveal.
Yeah, can he cut Rosalie off that all-important 2 Vanquished Souls on the field? It's going to be a tough ask, given the heavy Borga in hand could play around any sort of targeting shenanigans, or in this case, same column shenanigans from a Vanquished Soul Rasen.
But yeah, there is the Rasen from Lorenzo, and I don't think she has any form of interruption from the end outside of the Phantasmai, so it's going to resolve, adding that Caesar values.
Yeah, this is an absolutely insane start for Lorenzo as well.
Indeed. And
but
possibly
you can try and pop something, but it's not going to do all that much. But is the Caesar Valius about to make an appearance as well?
Yeah. Wow.
So much action happening on Rosalie's very first turn.
We have it. Do we have it? It is all free from Lorenzo. So let's see. Obviously, we're gonna respond from Rosalie Angelica.
Gonna bounce the monster with the lowest defense on the field. Oh no, just gonna summon the.
And then we are going to destroy that field spell. Resolution, kiting off the options. What an opening from Lorenzo too.
Yeah, it seemed like it was everything Rosalie could ever want, but Lorenzo here cutting her off.
I mean, Rosalie's hand was unbelievable, but Lorenzo had all the answers needed, you know, with all the names, with all the attributes, the Ash Blossom.
Well, yeah, seems like we are just gonna go for the Ita once again, bringing me back to the final from Dinka Bui, where you know, he was also making use of this to just upgrade into Promethean Princess. Are we gonna see any of those shenanigans here?
Can he have more interruptions? Like, here we are, Heavy Borga. Okay, so he can draw a card even.
Fair enough.
So much on Rosalie's first turn.
Wow.
I mean, this was the perfect end going second.
Really playing during her turn. Can we pick up anything? No, seems like that is going to resolve. Could we maybe have an Ibiru in the end from Lorenzo? Maybe looking for that interruption once more.
I guess people ask how to stop Vanquish Soul going first, and the answer is this specific 5-card hand from Lorenzo.
Just play during your opponent's turn. It's that easy. Why only have one first turn when you can have both?
And pass.
That's a pass. Wow.
Did Roselle maybe banish the Promethean Princess?
Oof. In that case, that would have been devastating because she chose. It's not like she activated part of Extravagance. It was a part of Prosperity, and now it's Lorenzo only staring pretty much that Phantasma in hand. But outside of that, he's free to do whatever he wants.
Yeah, you've got to think this is big advantage to Lorenzo, and how could it not be? It's such a powerful start on his opponent's first turn.
And I mean, he is aware about the Phantasmize, I'm sure. So there is a universe in which he doesn't even go for a Link Summon at all and just tries to push for a game like this. It's definitely a possibility. And he's counting. You can see that he is. Wow. What an ending to this match. And there are 8 minutes remaining, so it's not like there is all the time in the world to even have a comeback once a lot of damage is put on the field.
Yeah, with Vanquish Soul, you don't even need to do the full 8,000. You can just do 5,000 and then round it up with Heavy Volga over the next few turns.
Oh my! This is an absolute roller coaster of emotion for the ending of the European Championship. It looked like the opening from Rosalie Angelica was just whatever she would wish for, but what an unbelievable end from the Italian. And I think, yes, we are just gonna go for it, destroying the Ash and then taking control of the Ita. This could just be it. And there goes the fist bomb. Oh my, he has done it. Lorenzo Muselli is your 2025 European champion in Berlin. What a match, what a showdown, and oh my, the emotions are through the roof. We have an array of Italians just invading the stage, celebrating with their friend, and how can you blame him? First of all, I want to give a huge shout out to Rosalie Angelica. What a run, so many amazing players that she knocked off, and regardless, she should be proud for bringing Norway all the way up, and I mean, representing it in Paris at the World Championship. But, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, emotions are flowing for me as well. I mean, if any of you catch the speech that Lorenzo Muselli gave with Alberto when he qualified for the World Championship, he did mention a person that is special to the both of us, and that is Stefano Memoli, which has been an absolute inspiration for all of the Italian players growing up, and that won in 2012 the European Championship in Milan, and that has pretty much, I think, shaped up the destiny of the game ever since, I want to say, because if I am sitting here and if I am also a European champion, I have to owe him to him first and foremost. He changed a lot of the way that I used to play, and especially the mindset, and I can reveal to you, it's not much of a secret that the same has happened with Lorenzo Muselli afterwards. So this is just really an emotional and special story to me, with this 3 European Championship win, one in 2012 with Stefano, mine in 2017, and now in 2025 with Lorenzo. It's straight out of a movie. I couldn't be more proud of him and what he has achieved, and I'm sure he will give his best to do what me and Stefano could not do at the World Championship, going all the way to 3rd and 2nd place. Maybe he will be the one that brings it back to, as Dario Longo did back in the day. But thank you a lot, and thank you guys for bearing with me and staying with us. Obviously, we have to hear it from the man of the hour. Let's hear it from Lorenzo Muselli.
Thank you so much, everyone. I am joined by your new European Yu-Gi-Oh! Champion, Lorenzo Muselli! Lorenzo, how are you feeling, my friend?
I'm feeling, I don't know. It's a feeling that I cannot describe, and I don't know, going towards winning the European. Unbelievable. Probably I have to realize, but I don't know.
I mean, maybe it's gonna sink in a few days. Why did you play Vanquish Soul even in the tournament? Did you know it was going to be the best deck by far?
I think Vanquish Soul was the best deck for this tournament by far. As you can see, all issue is just broken, in my opinion. And I don't know, pot of extravagance is broken. And
how many times did you start pot even? It looked like you had it every game.
It was the card that I drew the most. Also in double copies, but it's still fine.
All right. Let's analyze your game a little bit.
Yep.
We're going to go into the first clip now. We're going to see the full reveal of Roselle here, the full hand. You had all the information. Was there any hope still left in this game for you?
I start with Purulya, Yash, and then summon Razen, Stake Your Soul. Was really tough to win that game. I tried, but because I made that play with all his shoe, because if he didn't shade the Jiaolong, he didn't have the hurt in hand. So, but still well played to her that recognized the play and the hurt.
So we saw that there was like full combos all over the place with no interruptions. Why was there no Paradise Smasher? What do you need for Paradise Smasher?
I think Paradise Smasher is a little risky. Like me, in the tournament, I did it just one time. I think it's just a backup plan. It's really strong card, but happens that you lost the dice. So most of the times, it's really it's better to do Vanquish Soul stuff, not Paradise.
All right. Playing Vanquish Soul is better than skipping your opponent's turn.
Yeah.
All right, that's also good to know there. Here we can see, of course, you played into it. How do you usually play into a Vanquish Soul field? Is there like a line that you can go for?
Yeah, you have to force the trap before everything. If you commit a lot of resources to take out the trap is really tough. So the key is the trap, because made Raigeki, and most of the time you don't have the protection because the fear spell they pop with the Caesar. But I think the key point is to destroy the trap card.
All right, yeah, I mean, we saw that the trap card really taking away a lot for you. You even stole the Jiaolong in the process there, and there you can see that the Snow Devil is just going to be activated in any second. Let's move on to game 2, actually, where we can see that you were... Oh, that's still the Snow Devil. You forced the Snow Devil in game 2 with the Caesar Valius.
Yes, what I said before. If you force the trap before, you have real possibility to win that game. Now, this second game, she dropped me, but I really have a strong hand because I had Nibiru in hand and Shared Ride. So I was really confident.
So how good is Drawn Lockbird actually versus Vanquish Soul? Because we saw multiple times after Resin resolved, it wasn't that strong, but if you resolve it on reinforcements or a Pot of Extravagance, it actually stops your turn quite well.
It depends. If you have access to all the food that summon from deck, is not that powerful in my opinion. But also because you can, in like some combination, play around draw. Like if you start with Madlove and Borger, to play around draw, you summon Madlove, chain Borger and Droll, you can draw still one. But if I start with Extravagance or Madlove is broken.
All right. Then again, you have activated Shared Ride. How many cards did you draw with Shared Ride over the entire tournament? Did it came up often?
It's really the first time I activate the Shared Ride.
Really?
The first time I drew it. So.
All right. Actually, let's also look at another play from this game, where you committed quite heavily into the field.
Yes.
And then once you went into either a Dark, I think, or it was a Hita,
yes,
Nibiru, the Primal Being, was revealed. What was going through your head when you saw Nibiru?
I want to force the Nibiru, because I recognize that she has Nibiru, but I had the trap with 3 attributes in hand, so I really don't care about Nibiru. Also, Nibiru was really good for me because she takes out his Caesar from his board. So he didn't have the Caesar on the board to force my trap. So that was the key point, in my opinion.
All right, so you do not care about Nibiru, the Primal Being?
No, because I had the trap with 3 attributes, all issue, and my Nibiru, Magnamut in hand. I was really...
Fair enough. I mean, the trap did the job for you. Let's actually go into the last game. What was that hand? You had the Holisu with all of the effects. what was that a hand you would wish for?
This deck is this end game 3 was amazing. Like I draw Ash Blossom, Olishu, Borger, and she didn't have the Ash for my Olishu, so I was really confident to win this game because I have everything.
How often, I mean, we called it backstage, we called it Holly Faker already.
Yeah.
How often did you summon Holly So on your opposing's first turn?
2 times or 3 times. Like this time, the match with Anthony Lopez in game 1 in top 64 in future match, and maybe another time all over the tournament. So not a lot.
If it didn't even come up often, it is way cooler that it came up in the finals as well, winning you the European Championship. Lorenzo, congratulations so much. Thank you for your time as well. And this is not over yet because we're kicking it over right back to Ed.
Thank you very much, Leo. So with that being said, we are now going to welcome the new European Yu-Gi-Oh! Champion. Please welcome Lorenzo Maselli! Lorenzo, you've been a national champion, you're now a European champion, and you're going to the World Championship. How does this feel?
Feels amazing. I don't really know how to describe my feelings, so feels amazing. I have to realize.
Absolutely, it'll sink in the next couple of days. Is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
All my friends, Stefano Memoli, Francesco Bellantone from home, my team, Workers Elite Team, and one of my best friend, Andrea Ronchi, il manager, all my team, Andrea, Germano, Diego e Gabri, the 3 workers, and all my best friends. And I'm sorry if I don't remember everyone, but I thanks a lot of people.
If you didn't get a shout out from the European champion, that's okay. We're going to take a step forward and we're going to have your trophy brought over by Kato Konami representative. So Lorenzo, this is your trophy, proving that you are the European champion. Give it up for your new European champion! I'm now going to invite my amazing casting colleagues onto the stage with us because that is it. We've had 7 duelists secure their place at the World Championship Series and crowned a brand new European champion. Lorenzo, everyone's had a great time. Thank you so much to all of our judges. Thank you to all of our players who attended. And also thank you very much to all of you at home for watching. Without our players and without the community, this would not be possible. But one more time, give it up for Lorenzo Maselli! That is going to be it from us, but we'll be seeing you very, very soon for the World Championship Series. Until then, good night.